Welcome to Tail Talk Grooming Chronicles with Hound Therapy, the podcast where we talk all things pet grooming, daycare, academy, and more. Hosted by Shannon and Tanya of Hound Therapy, serving pet owners across North Texas. We're here to share expert tips, hilarious pet stories, and the inside scoop on keeping your furry friends happy and healthy. Our motto, humanity over vanity. And don't worry, we don't bite. Let's get started.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Franchise owners bring big systems, big expectations, and big pressure. Today, Shannon and Tanya break down the realities franchise owners often miss and why grooming requires skill, nuance, and a whole lot of humanity. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host and producer, back in the studio with Shannon and Tanya, professional groomers at Hound Therapy. Hi, ladies. How are you both doing today?
We're good, thank you. We're great.
Great. Well, I'm excited to jump right into this one with you. So, what do franchise owners not understand about grooming?
Oh gosh, where to begin? I've seen many really good franchises that, they've called us personally. I've got franchise, owners that they bought into something and they thought that this was going to be great, and they were able to add grooming to it, and so they decided, well, let's just jump in. How hard can it be? We could use the extra revenue, and I've seen them fail miserably, just because they didn't have. It wasn't their business that they weren't doing well. It wasn't their franchise model that they weren't doing well at. It's the grooming portion of it, and it's just kind of an aftermarket. It's not something that they thought that would be great. They added it as a fly by night or
Almost an afterthought.
yeah, it's not, it's something that you have to put a lot of real thought and effort into. Plus, you have to make it work in your regular day-to-day business procedures. And it's not always easy to integrate those two things if you don't understand what's involved
Yep.
with grooming and in a grooming department.
Yeah. And usually they don't realize it until they're already losing money on it.
Yeah, and then it becomes I can't tell you how many times I've seen franchisees with these
Yep.
cute little grooming rooms, and they're using them as storage facilities. So
Quite sad, actually.
Um, so, we want to help set those people up. And the smaller franchises or the mobile people that come in and they think it's going to be easy to, you know, just find these dogs and people that will magically sit down and be able to groom them and have personable people skills and know exactly how to fix their clippers and what they need. And that just doesn't happen. It's just something that's got to be talked about. They've got to have a standard operating procedure of what to do, where to go, how do you talk to customers, how are we going to identify these problems, and what are we going to do moving forward. uh it's hard. Every dog is different. Every person's different. Skill sets are different. It's not a one size fits all. It's not something that
Definitely.
you can add on as an afterthought.
Yeah. And another misconception people have is more dogs is more profit. That's not really always the case. Some dogs can actually lower your profits. You lose money on some dogs. Poor scheduling, it'll burn out your groomers. Difficult dogs require more time. You have to slow down on those dogs, which costs you time, which is money.
Yeah.
Um,
They bite. You didn't get the proper information.
Yeah.
You didn't get the right breed scheduled. So, volume isn't necessarily you spending the amount of time. You just need to charge for your time. And unfortunately, some of these, franchise models, don't, they're used to business, right? And here's a business, here's a plan, and here's how business works. Grooming is not your basic, regular, everyday business. It has, yes, traditional business structure, right? You still have to have profit and loss sheets. You still have to have a balance and accountability. You have to, keep track. You have to market. You have to do all of the things that a business has to do. But you can't just. It's 99% service based.
Yep.
So with people who are not necessarily business savvy, this is done with talent. So you have a service based business done with talented people that know the talent that's in an unregulated space. It does not apply to basic business.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to retrofit something that makes common sense to somebody who's got a business mind on how to wrangle in that creative mind and be able to merge that in a way that makes money. And that's what we do. I mean, that we've been doing that for 45
Yeah.
years. So, but I didn't realize that it was something that was not just commonly known. It seemed like it would be to me. I would say, not everybody grooms the same. You can't
No.
just find a groomer. You can't just go to any haircut. You have a haircut style that you like, somebody who colors your hair really well. You can't
I'm
just
not leaving that person.
no. And that doesn't mean that the person sitting right next to her or in the shop across the street is not
Just
actually licensed through the state and can cut your hair. She just may not understand your hair or your texture or your style, but your other person does. That doesn't mean that one is better or worse than the other. It just simply means that that person has got a certain kind of following. So, part of running and knowing this business is knowing what person fits, what kind of style and creativity fits with that type of business creativity that you've got going on, your franchise niche. Those are all things that we take into consideration, and it's hard to to keep those all
it is.
together.
Um, and finding your groomers and hiring them is the hard part, because the reality is that hiring isn't the challenge. It's keeping them and training them. And groomers are awkward little ducks.
It
It's hard to support them through the chaos some days.
Talented groomers leave businesses that are successful for a lot of reasons. They may be having a lot of talent, but then you have that business mind structure that you are expecting XYZ from them, but you're not able to. If you can't express that creatively, it's going to be really hard for you to retain that groomer. Or the other way around, that groomer is able to bring in a lot of money for you because they're talented, but you're afraid to tell them to do anything that anybody else in your business is expected to do because they're holding you hostage.
Yeah.
and and you're afraid to upset them or you don't want them to leave. So that's not fair to your other employees. So finding that balance is difficult.
Mhm.
That's kind of partly why we've talked about streamline before, that Hound Therapy has found a way to help other businesses be successful. We really love what we do here at
Yeah.
Home Therapy. We love our clients and our dogs, and we love being able to serve them and give them the type of quality that
Yeah.
they need to have. We've done that by having a structured operating system that really supports business. We explain at our academy to our students, this is why you have to do business
Yeah.
and know business and know numbers, even though you don't love it. It's not my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. Either.
I use the phrase, I get to do this, or I get to sit in the office. I get to get on the computer because I am able to use my talent and allow people to come in the door that want to come in and see
Yeah.
me. We have a lot of different personalities here, but we all get along and we're all expected to do the same thing. We're all cross trained. We all, prefer one thing over something, but we all do all the
Yep.
things.
Nobody's expected to do anything anybody else isn't.
Yeah. So, franchises, they call me all the time. Franchise owners call me all the time. Do you have a groomer for me? Can you come help me set up, my shop? I've got the area. And then I ask them, like, what are your policies? What's allowed? What's not allowed? What can you do? What can't you do? And they just, they don't know. Or they have a very poor list, and I raise a lot of questions, which I shouldn't be able to do, and they can't just answer those questions and make those changes. Like, veterinarians call me as well. I have a lot of bigger businesses that will call and say, "Hey, look, how do I do this?" And it's like, "Okay, great, I'm going to make that change." But in a franchise, you can't just
You can't
say,
just change
"Okay,
it.
I'm going to do that." You've got to get approval,
Mhm.
and then everybody has to do it. So we want to build a system that works for everybody, and we want to. It's a niche business already, and we really want it to be better. So we try to teach our students how to flow in, and when our students are placed somewhere, you get all of us as well that come with it. So, we will put ourselves in that shop, in that business to set our students up for success,
Yep.
up for success because we want that. We want them to have that real life, you know, transference of that safety net being removed here with a lot of experienced groomers to going someplace where they may not have somebody who wants to share their experience or doesn't have any experienced groomer at
Yeah.
all, but we want them to be able to succeed, and the only way to do that is to train the owners of these grooming salons,
Yeah.
how these groomers have learned and how they can carry on their learning procedures, and keep their business successful and continue to make money with a price point that makes sense for everybody.
Well, thank you both for shedding light on this side of the industry. We'll see everyone next time.
That's a wrap for this episode of Tail Talk with Hound Therapy. Ready to book your pet's next groom, daycare stay, or grooming academy tour? Call us at 469-367-0009. That's 469-367-0009 to schedule an appointment. Or visit us online at www.houndtherapy.com. Serving North Texas with expert pet care. Until next time, keep those tails wagging.